Hi, my name is Eric Fox Jackson, and this is a tutorial on using the Pathfinder tool to create symbols with circles. Um, I've seen a lot of people draw pictures, mainly symbols or logos, with the pen tool, and instead they should be using simple shapes and the Pathfinder tool, and in this situation we're going to be using circles. Things like this, right now a lot of people are using cloud logos. These cloud logos are usually created very simply with the Pathfinder tool. And the famous Apple logo is even created using a technique similar to what you'd use for the Pathfinder tool. Though I think there's a arbitrary golden ratio thrown in here. This would be all created using circles and the Pathfinder tool. As well, these illustrations of fruit were also done using the Pathfinder tool and various warping effects in Illustrator. So, to get started, we're going to talk about using the Pathfinder tool. So I'm going to select the circle tool, or the ellipse tool, and I'm going to create a circle holding Shift so it stays symmetrical. And I'm going to hold Alt and Shift, and I'm going to select this circle and move it over. Now what I want to do is I want to use the overlapping area of these two circles to create a shape. And it creates a very unique shape with arches on both sides. I'm using CS3 so it doesn't automatically expand it. In newer versions it comes automatically expanded and you have to specify by holding Alt that you don't want it expanded. So I'm going to use this shape, and this is sort of a Byzantine arc shape that you can use for its outside arches. It's also sort of shaped like an eye or an almond. So I can use this very easily to create a heart shape. And so what I can do is I can just delete the top point by selecting it with the white arrow tool and pressing delete. Then from here what I can do is I can look at the transform palette, which I have located up at the top, but you may have located over to the side. So if you can't locate it, you can go to Window and Transform, and that'll bring you to the transform palette. Here we can look at the width of this shape. I'm going to make it something even, like 146. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another perfect circle by just clicking instead of dragging, and I'm going to take the size 146 and make it half of that. So Illustrator actually has a calculator built into it. So if I want to do half of 146, I can just put a slash and then a 2, and then when I hit Tab, it'll automatically do the math for me. So it's a 73-point circle is half of 146. So I'm going to do that again. 73-point circle, height and width. Now I'm going to once again use the white arrow tool, select the bottom point, and delete it. Now I can line this up to the top of my half of a Byzantine arch here, and I can hold Alt and to select this and duplicate it, and I can hold Shift to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere but where I want it to. Now I can select both these shapes and go to the Align palette, which once again is going to be under Window, Align, if you don't already have it open. Now what you're going to do is you're going to set the spacing to 0, mine's already set to 0, and you're going to select one of these to align it to. So I'm going to just click that one and use this, and now they're evenly spaced apart. There's exactly 0 points between them, so there's literally no space between them. And now I'm going to use that and align that to the bottom arch. And I'll just resize this by using the pointer and selecting the bottom here to create this heart shape. Now we'll use the Pathfinder tool to combine this into one object, because as of right now it is not. And there we have the heart shape, and I should have a swatch saved to color it. As well, we can use a similar technique to create a shield shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another circle, and I'm going to duplicate it to overlap, and use this overlapping shape, and just make it black for now so it looks alright. Use this overlapping shape to create a shield. So once again, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to delete the top point with the white arrow tool, and now we're going to go in there and we are going to add smaller circles to subtract out of there. If you want to visualize it, what you can do is you can make the object white so you can see what will be subtracted from it. Now you'll notice that if it goes sort of past it, it starts to arch back up, and you get more of a rebel insignia from Star Wars, where you really want to get the rounded corners for a shield. So I think this might be about a good size. I might resize this a little bit, and I'll duplicate this, try to line it up the best I can, but what I can do is I can hold shift, I can select both of these, and I can group them by using Control, I'm on Windows, or you can use Command G, and you can align that to the object below it. So now we can take those grouped objects, select this below it, and remove it from there by using this one right here, which has the square being removed from the other square. I'm going to expand it, and now we have a simple shield shape. Now a way that we can add to this would be to create a circle, and what you can do to get just a portion of a circle and just you have a nice clean arch shape, you can go to Object, Path, Add Anchor Points, and now this is adding in anchor points between the corners of the circle, I guess you could call them. And then I'm going to do that a couple more times. Add anchor points, and I'll do that one more time. Path, add anchor points. Now I'm going to use that to get a very nice small arch, which is just going to be these 3 points right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire object. I'm going to go in here holding shift, select those points, and now if I just hit the delete key, it'll get rid of the rest of the object. And now I can use this as a small curve if I want to add that to the top of my shield. The way I can find out the size of this is a lot of people would use the ruler tool, but I find the ruler tool sort of inaccurate. So what I would do is use the white arrow tool, drag and select that one piece, copy it, Control or Command C, and then Command V, and now you have an actual readout of the width of that object. So I'm going to just copy that, and I'm going to delete that object. I don't need that object anymore. I'm going to paste that width into this object, and now I should be able to just align these the way I've been doing it using the align tools. I don't trust anything other than the align tools. Oh, I didn't select a key object, so this dialog box is going to pop up, so I'll just select a key object now, and that will align nicely. And now we have a nice smooth shield shape. It's actually nicer than the shape I had in my introduction. Now from here we can use the the tools in Illustrator to create stylization for the shield. So we can just go to Object, Path, and Offset, and I'm going to preview it here, and I'm going to offset 15 points, negative 15 points, and that's a little extreme, so I'll do negative 5 points here. And now we have an offset inside to the shield. A lot of people otherwise would use the stroke tool, but then you have a little less control over it. You'll have to then expand the stroke. In a situation like this, I can sort of stylize it by moving it around here and editing those objects. So there we have the shield shape and the heart shape using Adobe Illustrator. And once again, my name is Eric Fox Jackson, and thank you very much.